It is good to be the king. We assume, and maybe someone will find out. We're here on Optimal Play with the start of a new legacy game campaign, The King's Dilemma. I am Brandon. I am a member of the King's Council for this game, and let me introduce you to my other council members really quick. Candace, since her first appearance on Optimal Play, has been on Board Game Geek's Game Night. Game Night, yeah. Has done some official preview and review coverage for Board Game Geek. So I would just like to say from the bottom of my heart, you're welcome.
I got my start here. House Vespertine.
Christian, also a returning champion, coming up from air from having another human child.
Yeah, harder than board games, a little bit more fun.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, just slightly. I guess it depends on the kid, it depends on the game.
Fair enough. And Ryan is back as well. His feet are a little wet from a flooded house, I hear, but... Oh boy. Yes. Here to get away from it. And,
it's even on your house card. There's your flood.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Too soon?
Very too soon. So, The King's Dilemma, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on and how to play up front. It is a legacy game that's light on mechanics, and we will be largely arguing,
as usual,
about what we want to happen in the story. We also have chosen a house that has its own self-interest that we're about to introduce you to. Up front, there is a bit of a disclaimer on the first page of the instruction manual. I've never seen this before, but I want to read it just so that we're all on the same page and also the viewers are on the same page about what might be going down here. So I'm just going to read this verbatim. Disclaimer. This game is set in a fictional and often cruel fantasy world. It was designed to put you in front of morally challenging situations and tough choices. Many of the dilemmas you will face involve ethical and moral choices related to sensitive topics that could upset your sensitivity or that of the people playing with you, such as injustice, violence, slavery, and discrimination. By design, the game will occasionally put you in front of the uncomfortable choice between what you think is right and what is best for winning. Remember that this is just a game and you're playing a fictional character. Even if the game world follows elements of the real world, nothing should be taken as real. It goes on to say that none of the atrocities in this game are in any way promoted or encouraged by the publisher or designers of the game. So, yeah, so we don't know exactly what's in this game. We are about to open these 75 envelopes over the course of our campaign, but we have been warned, and so have you, that there may be sensitive topics involved. All right, so the other thing to know about this game is it is set in a pretty elaborate, I don't want to say fantasy world because I don't know that it involves magic, but medieval fictional world. So I'm going to read just this few sentences of introduction so that we have some idea of what's going on. You are members of the Council, a governing body ruling in the name of the king, located in Libra, the capital city of the Kingdom of Ankist. You represent one of the 12 noble families who rule the duchies and the marks, into which the kingdom is divided. Your main interest is obviously to make Ankist prosper. However, you are also trying to increase the power and prestige of your own family over the others. The game campaign spans decades and generations, so you will assume the role of a different representative of your house each game. You won't be the same person over multiple games. With that, we've all chosen our houses, our families up front that have their own backstories. Would you introduce us to yours, Candace?
Sure. House Vespertine, Dukes of Bladen. Bladen used to be part of the Kingdom of Muir, but your territories passed under the rule of Libra in the year 143 after Muir lost its war against the Kingdom of Ankist. You offered no resistance to this change. You are not great warriors, and you prefer to obey the laws of someone else rather than face war. It is easy to understand why. Your lands overlook the Gulf of Isopia.
Sure.
Your climate is mild, and you have abundant crops and flourishing businesses. Your people are rather hospitable and open, since basically nothing ever happens in your duchy. Foreigners are welcomed with curiosity rather than suspicion. Fleur, your capital city, has a large square and numerous paved streets, all vestiges of ancient Sabian League. While a large lighthouse has been adapted on the ruins of a building dating from the Ceylon Union on Cape Diaz. The abundance of time and resources available to your people allows them a very marked spirituality and a literacy rate higher than the average in the rest of the kingdom.
What? Oh,
Horrible.
Your family often acts as a patron for the best artists, philosophers, and scientists. You are convinced that harmony can be achieved through the union of well-being, religion, and science. Harmony is acceptance.
all right.
House Vespertine.
Yeah, that last one is, we all have like a slogan, right?
Yeah.
Harmony
Yeah.
is acceptance. Okay, so if you heard nothing else,
That's
Harmony
Harmony
is
is
acceptance.
disagreement.
Christian, tell us about how you disagree.
Well, so I am representing House Badron, the Dukes of Salad. Your family was the last to surrender during the war between Ankist and Muir in the year 143, but in order to keep your extremely loyal people from rebelling, you received a royal pardon, and when control of your territory was removed from Muir to Ankist, you were assigned the title Duke of Salad. You are dreamers and visionaries, and your engineers build the best ships of the kingdom. Your people have always had their eyes on the immensity of the ocean. Your sailors and carpenters are very sought after, even on the eastern coast of the kingdom, and it is said that a ship built in your shipyards can withstand even the worst storms unscathed. The libraries of the kingdom are full of scholars from your duchy. Your merchants are always ready to embark on long journeys, almost more for the sake of exploration than for profit. Yours is a family of poets and navigators more than nobles. You're often depressed, but you're convinced it's in the darkest moments that the most profound ideas and the greatest works are born. Throughout the history of the duchy, you never stopped asking yourselves what lies beyond what is apparent, and you strive to leave your mark on history and unveil the true essence of reality. Rowan, your capital city, contains the best preserved vestiges of the Salon Union in the entire kingdom. There are also many ancient ruins of the Sabian League. And our motto is, nothing is as it appears.
I like it. Ryan, tell us about your lobster.
So, House Amarata, dukes, or maybe duchesses of Gaman? Formerly an independent kingdom, the Duchy of Gaman was annexed by Ankist in the year 130 after the army of that kingdom surrounded the capital city of Golden Harbor. Also known as the people of the lobster, you are skilled tradesmen and hard workers. You are constantly busy people, and you spend a lot of time complaining that you have no time to enjoy the fruits of your labor and your generous land. You are haunted by the fact that life is too short. The people of Gaman developed a special sensitivity to luxury and beautiful things. You are proud of your efficiency and wealth, and you often complain that you pay too much in taxes. You feel that your relationship with the central government of the kingdom is one way. You give a lot to the crown without receiving anything back but more taxes. From the outside, you are seen as demanding, arrogant, and fussy, but also elegant and sophisticated. Your capital city is clean and safe. All your people, including you and your family, complain that life ends too soon. You would give anything to have more time to enjoy the wealth you accumulate during your hard-working life. And our slogan is, work is life.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So you are trying to get as much money as possible and then die.
I'm trying to find some way to enjoy what fleeting things I've picked.
That's what I said, I'm pretty sure. And that leaves me inspired by our porcupine crests. We are House Pricklesnipe, the Marquises. I'm saying that right? All right, Marquises. Sure. Yeah. Of the Marquises of Dualac. Before becoming part of the Kingdom of Ankist, the former Kingdom of Dualac promptly turned down the many alliance proposals sent by the King of the Balance. That all changed in the year 70, when most of the reigning family was exterminated under mysterious circumstances, and the few who remained were forced to join Ankist to avoid chaos. Your people are convinced it was all caused by a treasonous Ankistan plot in order to push you into accepting annexation. Oof. Even though nothing of this was ever proven, your people never stopped being suspicious of the royal family of Libra. You secretly hate them. You always try to blame your problems on Libra, complaining about everything. You pretend your lands are poor, even if there's a rich trade in lumber coming downriver, essential for the construction of ships and buildings of the kingdom. You complain about northern raiders, even though you have only a small border to defend, while the rest is covered by forests. Your family thinks that you get treated differently from other nobles, and you've been feeling persecuted for generations. You would like the royal family of Ankist to pay for the alleged wrongs that were done to your mark from the very day you were annexed into the kingdom. Our slogan is, feel our sting. So we can't prove it, but we are going to get revenge.
Yeah, apparently.
All right, so this is a campaign of 15-ish games. The rulebook doesn't explain how to win the campaign, at least not in detail, which is fun. Each game will have a winner, though, that gets to have an heir of your house marry the royal heir and have royal superpowers next game. I don't really know how it will work. The winners, though, are mostly determined by those secret agendas. Christian, would you mind shuffling those up, discarding one without looking? So the player with the fewest prestige goes first in choosing. We all have 0 prestige right now. That is a score that we accumulate over the campaign. So ties in prestige are broken by beneath, on the left side of your screen here, you have a house number. Whoever's house number is the highest wins those ties.
I'm 2.
The highest?
The highest.
Oh.
So
I'm
not me.
I'm 1.
I'm 7.
It looks like that's me. All right, so
What
I
are
like
you?
that it's clearly
I'm
how
8, okay.
it's definitely like how angry you are is your house number, right? Because she's
Yeah,
one
I'm
of
like,
two.
I guess
irony.
so, yeah.
So you choose
That's
first.
great.
There's 5 in
Oh,
there.
okay. I'm not choosing randomly. I am choosing. I'm.
Will we go in house order or just clockwise?
Now we just go clockwise.
Same difference.
Well, yeah, actually it is.
I'm gonna take this one.
Clarifying for the viewers.
Yes.
I'm
Good looking
this
out.
one.
You would take that one.
You know me. That's the one I always take.
I wish the house name was like on there too.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess nothing's stopping us from sharpieing it onto the front.
No. Well. Oh, I get 2 to choose from. That's nice.
All right, and you can add that to the discard over there. Okay, so I think that the game adds more ways to earn agenda points, which determine the winner of each game as we go. But for now, almost all of your points are going to come from this. So this is going to be important to you if you decide you care about winning the first game. That much is up to you. Okay, since you've always wanted to do this in a legacy game, we are going to carefully follow the setup instructions. Very easy to screw up. Fun fact, this, it is apparently possible for this game to dead end, for you to be like out of cards and all you have is a bunch of sealed envelopes. So there's a QR code to scan that goes to a tool to help you figure out why you're stuck.
Oh,
It's really clever.
I actually like that.
Yeah, I haven't tried it, but it seems like
Hopefully we don't need
6 games in, we're going to be really appreciating it.
Game setup. Place the realm board in the middle of the table. We got it. We're placing the resource markers, which are these, in the middle of the track, randomly with their black or white side face up. We can talk more about why that matters later. Those resources are, this castle is influence, which is the strength of our army, the respect of other countries, and the respect of our people internally. We've got wealth, which basically represents how well the nobles are doing, how rich they are, how many luxury resources we have. Morale is this flag in the middle, which is the happiness of our people, their positivity, how much they are optimistic about our future, and also how much they find joy and relief in religion. The welfare, which is this wheat here, is the health of our population and the amount of, the availability of necessity resources like food and water. And it's also, the higher it is, the less that people are sick, the healthier they are. So, whereas wealth is like the well-being of the nobles, welfare is the well-being of the poor, and knowledge represents the quantity and quality of the technological and medical advances achieved by our kingdom, and also a measure of our cultural and artistic expression. So, and then we have this stability track here, which is going to move up and down in tandem with all 5 of those resources and can trigger the end of the game if it reaches either extreme. We have created a token pool with the rest of the tokens. We have placed 3 power on the board to start. We'll talk about what that's for. We have set up our house screens and our aye, nay, and pass cards for voting. We've all started with 8 power and 10 coins, right?
Correct.
That's behind our screens. So it's secret that we all have 8 power. Don't tell anyone. And now the, okay, we actually got ahead of ourselves and did the secret agendas. So we would shuffle and place the dilemma deck on the table. Currently, we have no dilemmas. That's a dilemma. So the player with the highest prestige takes the leader token, and the player with the lowest prestige becomes something called the moderator. And that house number breaks, the highest number is the highest prestige if it's a tie, and the lowest number is the lowest prestige if it's a tie. So I will take the leader token, please.
Yes.
And I will take the moderator token, please.
That
There you
sounds
go.
right.
Thank you.
It goes on to say, if it is not your first game, there are legacy setup effects that we don't need.
Great.
And finally, for our first game, we open envelope 0, because right now there is no game to play.
Everything's fine.
No, why don't you go ahead?
All right. Here we go. We have...
Yeah, so the top card is a story card. I'm going to take just...
You're 8 gold and 8 power.
All right, so the top card is a story card, while the remaining ones are dilemmas. If you could shuffle those and put them under this to keep them hidden. The story card is called The King's Dilemma.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the name of the game.
Card number 0. The trumpets strike 3 rising notes and 81 doves are released as Harold V is crowned king by the prior mother of the colts. The people erupt in a cheer of joy. Our hopes of enduring prosperity are renewed with a new king. Foreign dignitaries from Cossack, Kaupias, Sedlada, and Muir crowd the royal castle. This is going to be worse than Arkham games.
Oh,
saying all these names. They crowd the royal castle to evaluate the new king and win his favor. The ceremony is followed by a feast lasting for 3 days and nights along all the streets of Libra, our capital city. A week later, sitting on his throne behind the grand chiseled door of the council room, the new king addresses us for the first time. Any authority is flickering, and power can be a blessing or a curse for those on whom it is exercised, he says. After a pause, he adds, ruling is an unsolvable dilemma.
Makes you think.
Doesn't it? So it has an icon on it that tells us which story it's a part of. It's going to go here. The top card of a story can have effects on the game. I don't see any here, though.
Okay.
So we now go into the first round, where we're going to draw the bottom card of the dilemma deck. Since I am the first leader, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Here's our first dilemma, Council. The High Commander has received a message from our soldiers stationed at the troublesome north border of the Mark of Torque. Skyrim smugglers are offering to provide us large quantities of quote-unquote red iron, a strange metal that can break even the strongest steel. The army wants the majority of it, but there's a lot of money to be made by trading it. Do we reserve the red iron for the army? So this is now going to be the first thing we vote on. We can see on this card that it gives us hints as to what will happen. If we vote aye on this, then it will be favorable for our influence. We've improved our army. If we vote nay on this, it will be favorable for our wealth. The nobles are, I don't know what they're going to do with this red iron, but they're going to do something with it. Yeah.
Make beds out of it.
That sounds comfortable. Yeah. Okay, so this is our dilemma. The leader first, that's me, has to make a vote between aye, nay, or passing, and if I vote aye or nay, I'm going to use some of my power tokens to put strength behind that vote.
Now, before we vote, do the colors of... the influenced is a different color right now than the wealth. Does that mean something for our voting?
Yeah, it is something to consider. Thank you. So these resources have what the game calls a momentum to them, which acts a lot like you would think. If they have recently moved up, then they will be on their white side, and they move up extra spaces whenever they go up. If they've recently moved down, then if they move down again, they will move extra spaces down. The face that they started on was randomized. You literally threw them into the air.
I did.
So, yes, it actually does mean that the wealth, if we vote nay and the wealth goes up, it's going to go up an extra space in addition to whatever the card says to move it.
Okay.
Great.
That is not true for influence since it's on the black side.
Great.
And will they flip?
It will flip, yeah.
And do we know anything about how many levels it'll go up, or is it just like one bump?
We do not know anything about how impactful this might be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's find out.
Okay, I'm going to take a peek at what the hell I want to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm feeling like this is a bad idea. I think we could have better uses for the red iron, and I'm going to put 2 power on nay. Ryan, you are next.
Amarath is going to pass courteously.
Okay, so when you pass, you can get 2 benefits from it.
Okay.
You can either pass and take the moderator title from Candace, or you can pass and at the end of the round, you can pass and gather power, which means this 3 power that's sitting here on the board, you will get or you will share with anyone else who passes after this dilemma. Which do you want to do?
As the moderator, I get to cast a tie-breaking vote, correct?
Yes.
Then yes, I will choose to take the moderator. I will note that my vote is for sale. So if you are passionate about the fate of red iron, let's talk.
You do also, anytime someone passes, get 1 coin if you could help with that, banker.
Ah, of course.
That just also goes on his pass card. He actually cannot spend it during this dilemma, but
That
he
makes
will get
sense.
it after.
So once you have passed, are you allowed to then, if voting comes back around, vote again, not pass, or does passing take you out of the voting for the round?
Passing takes you out of the voting for the round.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing that too. I'm going to pass for power though. So
okay.
I'm passing. I'm putting 1 coin on my pass, and my vote is not for sale. I'm not.
Wow, all right.
And I'm going to pass for power as well.
Oh, okay. Well, wow. I should have spent less power on this vote. I didn't know I have no competition. All right. It is decreed the nobles will keep the red iron. So what happens is right now, the 2 of you who passed for power are going to split the power in this pot. Any that cannot be divided evenly is going to stay in the pot for next round.
Okay.
So you each gain a power.
Thank
Congrats.
you.
Now, me and also everyone who had voted nay and put power on it are going to spend that power, put it into the middle.
Okay.
So we have voted nay. A strong army requires a strong economy to fund it. The smugglers supply us with a constant flow of red iron from the mostly unexplored lands in the northern Folafar Mountains. The unusual metal can be sold to the highest bidders on the open market for outrageous profits. 2 things happen. Wealth goes up by 3, and it goes up by an additional 1 since it had white momentum. And then when it already had positive momentum and it gains, and it goes up, it gets that momentum token. So now next time, if it goes up again, we're adding 2
Oof.
to the amount that it goes up. Yeah. Also, anytime a resource moves, stability moves with it, including its momentum. And there's an envelope to open here, envelope 60. Yeah, so while you pull out that envelope, this dilemma goes here. That is our timer on the game, essentially.
So many secrets.
Yeah.
Should I read the new story card?
What does it say on there?
It says the signer of this card gains 3 coins.
Oh, so
I believe every time you open an envelope, you read the story card and then put it in the right place.
that is right. As the leader, I am the signer of this card.
Oh.
So why don't I take that and I'm gonna just sign it with Prickle Snipe.
Do I shuffle these into the dilemma deck, or do I place them on the bottom?
You shuffle them into the dilemma deck, yep. And it is called The Value of Might. Smugglers provide a small but steady supply of red iron to the trade guild in Duin. The smiths begin experimenting with new ways to employ the robust metal, crafting tools, jewelry, and weapons for the wealthy. However, its sturdiness makes it difficult to cast into functional forms. Despite these difficulties, the Duin Trade Guild and our kingdom both benefit immensely from the transactions. Many among the wealthy nobility compete to acquire the few artifacts that the smiths successfully forge. Even foreigners from the south visit our markets to acquire the rare products. Okay, you guys are welcome.
Yeah, sounds great. Kingdom's doing great.
We are all prospering. You're welcome. Okay, it's another dilemma. I'm still the leader,
Yeah.
so I'm just going to keep being the one playing the game.
Oh, and we now take our coins from the pass from last round, right?
Yes,
So those
yes.
go back into our pot. Okay.
I didn't get my 3 coins that I got from the story, I don't think, right?
Oh, you got 3 coins from the story.
I sure did.
Are you sure? I feel like you don't need those.
Pretty sure. One other thing.
What's that?
Yeah, it's on the other side of this. It says
When you signed it?
that's the icon for right now. The signer of this card gains 3.
Oh.
Even though this card doesn't seem to have an ongoing effect on the signer, the rulebook hinted that at the end of stories, who signed the most cards in a given storyline stack may matter.
Okay.
So the leader might be important beyond just the decision to do dilemmas first or
Right.
or yeah. Okay.
Right. Lorenzo, an entrepreneur from Torque, led an expedition beyond the northern border to seek red iron mines, but we lost contact with him. Some suggest that we should send a military contingent to look for him, a very dangerous quest as it could be seen as trespassing by the kingdom of Enkal further to the north, with whom we have not had contact for decades and whose military strength is unknown. The question for us is, do we send the army to investigate?
And our icons for I are knowledge and...
That is the icon for a sticker will go on the board.
Ooh.
It will be a positive sticker.
Yeah.
We can tell from the icon.
Sure.
And then on the nay side, we would lose knowledge, and a negative sticker would go on the board.
Sure.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Yeah, so it's a recon mission, and why this is affecting our knowledge, essentially?
Yeah, but yeah, it's a recon mission. It's a recon mission, but a dangerous one. We don't know what's up there.
Right.
I'm a little worried. Are you?
You saying we shouldn't go?
I'm just worried, that's all I'm saying.
You know what, my pockets are full. I'm feeling like flexing some power. I'm going to vote I with 1 power token.
I really like that my vote is for sale, so Amarath will pass courteously.
And we all looked at all the hidden agendas. There's not a hidden agenda for being the moderator.
I believe all of the hidden agendas are just about position of the resources on the board.
And money.
And money.
Right.
Yep. I am going to take a stand. I'm going to vote nay with 2 power.
So you now become the leader immediately, since you have the most power on a card. The voting is not going to end until it gets back to you as the current leader.
I mean, I'm going to have to say we check it out, and I'm going to vote I.
Okay.
With 3 power.
Ooh.
You're the leader.
Ooh, okay. I mean, no, I think we're seeing eye to eye here. I don't need to throw more power at this, so I am going to stay.
At this point, I think it's fair to mention that my vote is for sale. So if you don't want to outpower someone, you could always just grease my palms.
I mean, right now there's no reason to buy. So, a question: were I to raise, would you guys then have the opportunity to continue betting, or does it end immediately as it gets back to the leader?
No. So if you were to,
I become the leader.
You would
again.
become the leader, and it would continue. Yeah.
Hence,
how much money would it take to get you to break a tie?
More than them.
That's useless.
I'm for sale.
So yeah, if you exchange money for something, it is binding, but I guess the binding agreement could be, I will vote the way you want unless someone gives me more money.
Right, yeah. He can write his contract.
As long as that is clear, then...
You know what,
if you're willing to offer a specific sum, then to lock in my vote.
If I were to give you 2 coins, would you be willing to break a tie in my favor?
Yes, I would be willing to do that.
Okay. I'm going to put in then 2 power so that the nays now have 4, making me the leader.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you 2 coins to keep that promise.
And I am bound by having taken these coins.
So now they could just put more power in, which would get the vote. You could even just put 1 power in.
And that's exactly what's going to happen.
So the one question, the only reason I might up my vote is if I wanted to be the leader for this dilemma, but I don't feel strongly about that, so I will do nothing.
Great.
You've already passed, and
I can't raise, so...
So we're done. So we've got 5 ayes to 4 nays.
Yep.
Aye.
Leader passes to the leader of the ayes.
Okay.
I get my power back.
Spend
That's nice.
my 4 power. Ooh,
and I spent my 1. Yeah, that's like 8 in the pot now.
That's nice.
It's looking pretty good. And you have taken responsibility for whatever happens.
All right, here we go.
We are reading the blue side, the eye side.
Our soldiers leave Torque, heading to the harsh Falafor Mountains. A few days later, only a handful of them come back.
Told you.
The survivors tell that they found the expeditioneers' camp and their corpses near the Ankle border, but were attacked by a handful of extremely skilled fighters bearing red iron weapons and armor. Despite their superior numbers, our soldiers barely managed to escape. Ouch. So, welfare is going to go down 1.
So we flip it,
so
right?
Yes.
Flip it to its black side and slide it down 1.
Okay.
And then knowledge goes up 2. So
flip it up 2. Then stability matches, right? So it goes down 1 for the welfare, and then up 2 for the knowledge.
Yes.
So it looks like sticker 134?
Yeah, so this has this giant, I've never seen anything like this. It is a giant book of stickers, almost like a huge book of stamps or something. What number did you say?
134.
And am I able to, can I just, hey, there we go. It just kind of pulls out because you're going to need to sign this. As well
this
as
is your responsibility. You've done this to us.
Knowledge out of tragedy.
Yeah, what do we got? Read it.
Okay, so it says, the sacrifice of our soldiers north of the border gave us insight into the kingdom of Uncles. Is that how we're saying that? Ankles?
I like on-call.
Uncles.
Ooh, that
okay.
sounds fancy.
Sounds fantasy.
Right.
The sacrifice of our soldiers north of the border gave us insight into the kingdom of uncles. Mr. Shit. Now I messed up the rest of the sentence because I was focusing on that. Uncles. Okay, sorry. The sacrifice of our soldiers north of the border gave us insight into the kingdom of uncles' military strength and the way of fighting. The prospect of further research on the subject excites our scholars.
Ooh.
Okay, so I signed this.
Yep.
Yeah, so
And then
there's...
there are a couple check boxes.
Yeah, so those check boxes actually, we're going to mark that off one at the start of each game. So the impacts of this event, basically you are going to be credited for this event for as many as 3 games, but it is also possible it can be overwritten sooner.
Okay.
Would you like to put the sticker on?
Oh, no, you can do it. Thank you.
Oh, wow. As the
Yes.
leader, you get to delegate.
It should be the leftmost sticker in the knowledge row, because you can see the knowledge icon on the sticker. Yeah.
Okay, and then we also need envelope 62, please.
I love stickers.
So this will go here, first sticker.
62.
All right.
We appear to be building a dilemma deck.
Yes, we are. We are causing dilemmas. So that is a story card. We can shuffle these into the dilemma deck while you flip that one and read it.
Okay. Observing the art.
It's very beautiful.
Iron that pierces the sky. Despite the relatively short distance, contact with the kingdom of Ankol was lost for decades. The bitter lands that divide us allow very few exchanges, and they never had much to offer anyway. Though they were a militaristic society, we consider the Ankali as inoffensive as the Scarums, nomadic tribes living in the unclaimed brown hills along our border. Yet, despite their small numbers, it seems they become a threat thanks to red iron. They must have discovered it only recently, but they mastered its harvesting and smithing much better than we. The scouts we sent even sighted an impressive fortress reinforced with huge red iron plates they call the Crimson Keep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm in.
Crimson Keep.
So this was a practically like a kind of a fading civilization we didn't think much of that now has found red iron and bounced.
Also, please note
Bounce back
that the
to red.
art has the Crimson Keep, I think, on the
Oh
front.
yeah,
Yeah? That's a pretty cool keep.
I like it.
So apparently they have surpassed us in terms of technology then.
Essentially, they have surpassed us on technology.
They had like a couple weeks jump, so you know. I'm super into the minimalist board, but the maximalist art. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, these are cool too.
Yeah, like this is way more than it needed to be.
Right.
So it's time for a new dilemma.
It is time for a new dilemma. As the
leader.
leader, take the bottom card of the deck
Okay.
and see what we get.
Okay, here we go. Interesting. The Tribune reports to us that an unprecedented drought has hit Tyrol, ravaging crops and decimating the cattle. The price of bread has increased to the point that many among the poorest can't afford it. But the Kingdom of Moor is offering us uncannily cheap wheat. Importing it would save the poorest from starvation, but its low price is suspicious.
Yes.
Do we import Moorian wheat?
No.
So if it's an I,
Poison them.
it looks like the wealth is gonna hit something positive and welfare. Or wait, what is?
So when it's got kind of that black outline,
Yeah.
that means it would be a negative effect on wealth.
Oh, negative effect on wealth, positive effect on welfare for I. And then nay would be negative effect on welfare, negative effect on morale.
Yes.
Also.
But also, who knows what narrative outcomes there might be as well.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the last one had no indication that all of our dudes would die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was
that
nothing
got-
on the icons
got
that suggested
ugly.
a military defeat or the welfare going lower.
So we don't
So we
know.
don't. It's not a complete set of information.
Exactly.
Okay.
Also, it sounds to me like this is the start of, so there are as many as 6 simultaneous storylines. This sounds like a separate start of a storyline from
Right.
the Red Iron. to
Right.
me. So
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's kind of a fresh start. That's true.
What if
maybe?
what if
It's all
the
gonna
cheap
tie
wheat is
together.
made of red iron?
Ooh,
It's
like iron
inedible.
dust. Yeah. Okay.
So
You are on the spot to start us
I
off.
am on the spot here.
I just want to say, it's your vote, but like clearly this wheat is suspicious.
It is.
But our people are so hungry.
Yeah,
I know,
then let's
I
not
know.
buy them poisoned wheat.
I think I'm gonna go 1 in for I.
despite just arguing that the other side of what Christian was saying, I think I agree with Christian. What are you guys gonna do?
I'm voting nay.
Voting nay.
I actually...
Are you just gonna pass again? Because if so, I'm just gonna put 1 on I, and then you can put 1 on I. That's on nay, I should say.
Yeah.
And that's all the power you have to spend.
I don't want this to pass, and I kind of want to sign something.
Oh.
But...
You want your name stamped on every piece of suspicious bread. Every loaf of
And you're okay with a hit on morale and welfare?
Huh?
I mean,
a potential
negative
hit.
morale and welfare.
Yeah.
Listen, our stability...
I don't know.
I would just like to point out, our stability is getting dangerously opulent.
Yes.
So
that is a good point.
Yeah.
So if the stability reaches the top, then what happens?
The king abdicates, a word that I do not understand.
Abdicates means steps down voluntarily.
Oh.
Either for being too rich and wealthy, or for ruining the kingdom, presumably.
Interesting. Okay. I had thought it was more of a grisly end.
Nope.
But
Abdicates is literally just like, wow, the people really don't want me to be the king anymore. I mean, you can force a king to abdicate, but it's like, it's just like stepping down.
Leaving your duchy and moving to Canada.
Yeah, right. Spending more time with his family.
So the top of that track, the king abdicates as a result of factions getting an unequal amount of power, causing instability. At the bottom of the track, the king abdicates because basically everyone is poor and dumb and mad.
Sure. Checks out.
Yeah.
Riots, basically.
yeah, pretty much.
So what's your vote going to be?
It is... Oh, it is to me. Shoot, I was just asking Ryan, but okay. I'm gonna put a power, not enough to become leader, a power on nay.
Well, I think that I'm going to pass and gather power.
Shocking. Okay. So you get 1 coin.
Yeah, and you will get as much as 8 power. Ooh, you've got a big decision to make.
Yeah, I am going to pass and become moderator.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I get 1 coin for passing. I get the moderator hammer. We are back to the leader, so voting ends.
Voting ends with just 1 vote aye and 1 vote nay, so it is down to the moderator's choice.
And I'm voting nay.
All right.
Okay, that was easy.
Yeah, I like it. So Ryan gets this entire pot of 8 power.
I thought about it. I was tempted, but
Yeah,
I really want this decision.
I actually thought that you would go for the power.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot of power.
There is an argument that no one man should have all that power as well.
I put my 1 measly nay power in here, and I become responsible for this dilemma.
Let's find out. Yeah, that was. I did not want my signature on this dilemma, in case I'm totally wrong.
That was a good call.
Now that I have gathered all of this power, I would like to remind everyone that my votes
Are for sale.
are for sale.
The store is open.
All right, so we have decided not to import the Murian
The suspicious, horrible wheat.
Yes.
It could be good.
Some people believe that our avarice might doom the poorest outcasts to starvation. The royal treasurer praises our caution, but few others praise the council's efforts to keep the kingdom financially stable. Welfare goes down by 3. It already was on the black momentum side, so it's going to go down by 4.
And stability matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, which was my real goal.
Morale goes down by 1, and it has momentum, so 2.
1, 2.
So stability is back to, actually, has just gone from near the top to below half.
1 turn.
And we are opening envelope 50.
I'm sure it's fine.
Oh, you get to read
Probably
this.
fine. I do. All right, so this card, it is the first card of a new story. It looks like at the start of the next 3 games, next video probably we'll talk about open agendas because that kicks into game 2. I will get the negative open agenda.
Yes!
My understanding, we'll check before we play the next game, is that only the top card of the story pile gets its impact. So it could either be the next 3 games or when the story moves on.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, so I need to sign this.
Dilemma cards could probably get
You
shuffled
are
in.
so cruel.
Prickle Snipe.
That checks out.
Just has such a ring to it.
Prickle Snipe.
All right, and ooh, this is titled A Tale of Sorrow. Muir's offer of cheap wheat was too good to be trusted.
Yes.
And recent news seems to prove our wisdom. Merchants coming back from Muir claim to have seen local scholars pouring huge quantities of wheat into the Abney River, a clear indication of its poor quality. Yet, with our other duchies also hit by the drought, albeit not as dramatically, they are unable to help, and the scarcity of food in Vandis, the capital city of the Mark of Tyrol, becomes a constant problem. Those living in the countryside manage to get by, feeding off small gifts of the land, but for the poorest outcasts living in the cities of the Mark, hunger is brutal.
Good job. And they all know it's your fault.
And my name is signed on that story.
How are you doing on power?
I've had more of it.
There are ways to get it.
What?
Are there? Well, let's talk after we find out more on, looks like the Red Iron front.
Okay, good.
The trade guild in Duin is prospering from the trade of red iron, but its gains fail to trickle down to the common folk. Obviously. That's no surprise there, but I don't mind it. Some want to tighten taxation and use part of the profits to help the struggling lower classes. The resulting price increase on red iron, though, will lower its commercial appeal. Do we increase the tax on the trade of red iron? So that's the question. Do we tax the rich? Essentially. Do we tax red iron?
And what icons do we see?
The eye would lower wealth, but apply a sticker to the board. And nay would further lower welfare, but raise wealth. I have a lot of red iron. This is the thing.
You've been stockpiling.
Yeah. And I mean, like, don't I actually in the story? I got all that money from the story card about red iron. Like, I think
it's thematically pretty appropriate.
Yeah.
I have all this money. So I am going to vote 2 power on nay, and I'm just going to put out an offer that I will give anyone else who votes nay a coin per power.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's a promise?
Yeah, I guess it's not technically binding under the rules, but yes, I will.
A coin per power that you played?
I will.
Point per
A
power.
coin per power that anyone else puts on nay.
Oh,
here.
okay.
All right.
I'm going to, this is technically secret, but I'm going to put a cap on this.
Sure, yeah.
I have 13 coins, and I'm going to say I'm going to give them to the first 8 power that are spent 1 for 1.
Well, you can put your money where your mouth is, because I will put down 4 power if you pay me 4 coins.
All right.
On nay.
Here you go.
Hacha.
Thank you.
I am just a lobbyist here. An anti-tax lobbyist is what I've become.
Taxes?
is what this game has made me.
My people hate taxes. I was already going to vote nay. I just wanted your money.
Well, enjoy it.
4
the
power on nay.
The savings that I get on all this red iron is going to make it well worth my while.
I'm going to pass for the moderator.
Okay. Candace, you want any money? Just power each on day.
I don't really need money.
Well, then you don't need to vote. If you don't want nay at all, then you don't need to.
You can get a free power just by voting nay and taking the power.
Yeah, it's not.
Or voting pass and taking the power.
It's not very glamorous. I was hoping to get the moderator.
So
I'm just gonna pass and take the coin and the power.
Okay, unless I for some reason wanted my name on this decision, which I do not, then so I will do nothing and keep my 2 nay votes where they are.
Great.
So with that, the nays have it.
The nays have it.
The power that was in the pot goes to you, Candace.
Woo!
And you get your gold off the pass.
6 that we spent on voting against this tax go in.
And
Ryan takes responsibility.
All right. We deny the request, thinking that unfettered trade would benefit the poor better in the long run.
It's trickle-down economics.
It really is.
The common folk, however, do not share our assessment. So, there is no sticker, but we have -2 for welfare.
Wow. Okay, so that cannot get any lower than 1, but
So it
it
just
gets
hits-
all the way down to 1.
Yeah.
And does
that-
momentum
with that
do
momentum.
anything?
So there's 2, and then the momentum would be another 2, but it's going to stop at 1.
So 3 total,
Yeah.
which affects stability
But
-3.
does it do stability -4?
No, it does not do
It's
stability
counted.
-4.
1, 2, 3.
We should essentially always be able to look at the current state of the board and calculate stability.
Right.
And
that
then
makes
we
sense.
have +1 to welfare.
Which is actually
3.
+3. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. Oh wait, wealth, not welfare, right? +1 to
Yes,
wealth.
+1 to wealth.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
End of decision. I did not sadly
No
decide
envelopes?
anything.
No envelopes on that one. I mean, every envelope seems to add 3 dilemmas, so they can't go on forever.
Yeah.
Exponential. The stack is...
By our second game.
So we are at 4 out of 6 dilemmas. After 6 is when the game could end at any time. Keep that in mind.
So, the people of Abnett, a village along the Abney River, complained that its waters have become gray as ash. After irrigating the fields with these waters, their wheat turned gray, and the bread obtained from it has the same uninviting color too. Many blame Muir for pouring their cheap wheat into Abney, but they deny it. Do we impose sanctions on Muir as compensation?
We didn't buy their shitty wheat, so they poured it in the river, and now it's poisoning our wheat.
It's a good story.
Well,
You never know what's going to happen when you're a king and there's a dilemma.
So if we vote aye on this, it will increase our wealth. If we vote nay on this, we will get a sticker and decrease justice.
influence.
Influence.
Sorry, decrease influence, yeah.
Yep.
Do we impose sanctions on Muir? Ooh.
Sanctions are better than taxes.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
We all know that that's just...
I also just, like, they're doing a bad thing. They should have sanctions on them, right? Like, let's be clear. They're poisoning our wheat, and they tried to sell us bad wheat. Like, they're doing a lot of bad problems right now.
Oh, man. Okay, so...
So voting starts with Ryan.
So for me, based on the outcomes here, I would much rather the I. Like, fine, add, taking wealth to the top, no big deal. But I worry about the repercussions of imposing these sanctions.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I'm at.
There don't appear to be consequences because there's no sticker. There's only...
But it might be an envelope. It might be, like, you don't know.
So the stickers actually all work like that one. The stickers all represent, at least unless, based on what the rules tell you about stickers, they all represent basically the memory and the legacy of your actions. But they affect your agendas in future scenarios, in future games.
And we definitely, there have been some where there's a sticker or an envelope for only one side and not the other. It's hard to predict. So I don't think we can metagame whether or not there will be consequences for imposing the sanctions. I would be surprised if there were no consequences for pissing off Muir, but I also think it's the right thing to do.
Well, Ryan, luckily the voting doesn't start with me.
Yeah.
Well, it might. I think I'm going to... You say no. Does anyone else have any opinions before we start voting? My vote is for sale. I will.
Is it? I don't know if I've heard that before.
I'm real torn. I definitely don't want my name on a no decision. I don't really want my name on the yes decision either.
What do you think, Ryan? You haven't even
That's true.
said a thing.
What I want to do is pass for power.
Okay.
So you just take a coin and put it,
Take a coin?
coin from the bank and put it on your pass.
I'm going to put 2 on I. I take the leadership.
Okay.
Put my power where my mouth is.
You feel strongly about that, I see.
I mean, strongly enough. I understand that there might be blowback here. I'm a realist. But I also think that we have to take a stand. Muir now, we have had 3 dilemmas in a row in which Muir has been messing with us.
They're clearly bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass and take power as well.
Oh, you're sharing the power with me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning towards doing the same thing.
You've been getting a lot of power.
Yeah, you don't want everyone to have power.
I think I is the right choice. I've never at any point gained power this game. So I could use some. So I will also...
You're passing for power?
I am passing for power. So if you could
Here's a
hand me a
coin.
coin, please.
Wow, that was easy.
Yeah.
So you can't do anything else because you've already passed, so it comes back to me.
So the ayes have it?
Ayes have it easily. So I pay, so you split up the power.
Yeah, we get 2 each, splitting this 3 ways. There you go.
My 2 goes back onto the balance. Ayes have it easily, so finally I get to do something. I bet it's horrible. Let's find out.
It always is.
Muir says they didn't know what was happening, but it doesn't matter. They must compensate us. The additional funds from the sanctions will surely be helpful, but hunger still haunts the cities of Tyrell. And the poorest outcasts are forced to eat bread produced from the gray wheat. Because of its uninviting color, they call it ash bread.
Oh.
So wealth gains +3. But
Oh, wow.
we're maxed
But
out.
it's maxed.
So,
stability is dead even.
and we get envelope 52.
So they ended up eating the gray wheat anyway.
So we've got red iron and ash bread now.
Yep. We're building up a lore.
Yeah.
52. Ash bread is uninviting to most, but it is a gift for the starving outcasts who can finally afford something to eat. Although its effects were hidden at first, regular consumption over a prolonged time causes sickly grayish spots on the skin around the lips and down the belly. This mark is now visible on many of the beggars from Vandis. People start calling them ashers, and many claim they are prone to violent outbursts. The rising tensions
now.
Yeah. The rising tensions cause many incidents, and superstitious people even believe that their souls now belong to strange old gods. Ashers, however, claim they're just discriminated against for their visible mark of poverty.
Wow.
Love
Is
it.
that an Asher?
Yep, that's an Asher.
So does that eliminate the previous negative impact?
That is my understanding, is that the
top
now,
story card is the only one that does.
That now that impact is not on me. Basically, time has marched on. People have forgotten that I was the last one to screw the kingdom over. Now it was Christian.
Draw from the bottom, right?
Yes.
The Royal Marshal reports to us that 3 windmills were set on fire last night along the road between Libra and Golden Harbor. The affected millers are asking for help rebuilding their windmills. Do we fund the reconstruction? Our I is good for welfare and bad for wealth. And our nay is bad sticker and bad for welfare, which is already maxed out at the bottom. Okay, and I'm the leader.
And this is
I
about...
think we have to help.
So windmills being set on fire. Okay, this sounds like another new story.
Yeah, maybe. Or it might be related to the ash bread. I mean, the millers.
That's true.
We don't know.
Yeah.
As the leader, I'm just gonna put 1 on nay as a start.
Okay, we're not
Why don't you want
not funding the reconstruction of the windmills.
Yeah,
It's kind of a dick move.
I know. I think they're fine.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely gonna have to go 2 for I. And I become the leader. Thanks. People gotta eat. We gotta get these mills up and running.
I have no reason to care about these little windmills. I will pass for power. If you can hand me a coin, please.
Yes.
Okay, so what we have now is no moderator, or is...
No I'm still the moderator from
Is it
last
still the
time,
moderator?
but you could take it. I have not claimed it this turn.
Yeah.
So it's takeable, but I break
You're
ties for the
technically
moment.
okay.
And then, have we determined if nays pass, what happens to who is the leader?
If the nays it's the...
Or if they do, if he does
whoever
nothing.
spent the most on nay.
If I spend 1 power for nay,
Mm-hmm.
and Christian is the moderator,
I would break that tie.
he would break that tie
Uh-huh.
and make nays.
I don't know. I might want to make you
Who
the
becomes
leader.
the
I might
leader?
want you to
That's-
sign this horrible situation.
So
So that's the question: is it up to the moderator?
yeah, is
right?
it like
Who
can
becomes
I
the
just-
leader?
Yeah, if it's up to the moderator, or not.
Yeah, because if you put 1 on nay, we would have a tie both on votes and a tie on nay leader.
If the players of the winning side are tied, the ownership of the leader token must be determined by the moderator, who can bargain with the tied players about it.
Do you want to be the leader?
Do you?
No.
I'm not married to it. So, like, if you're willing to, if you want to vote nay but not take responsibility, I will take the leadership myself. I'll take.
Is that a promise?
Yeah, no coins are changing hands, so it doesn't mean anything. That's a promise. You can try. We've got a relationship. I'm the only one who's actually like bribed you. Well, I guess you bribed you.
I bribed him.
Yeah, but
yeah.
It's
but
not
I would
a
like-
bribe, it is a gift in
I would.
kind.
I would like that.
It's a
outcome.
quid pro quo.
Okay. All right. So I will spend 1 power to vote nay.
Okay. And then it comes back to me. So I could technically. There's no reason not, since I'm the moderator. There's no reason for me to up my vote.
Correct. Yeah.
I get to choose everything that happens right now.
Yes.
So I'm not raising my vote.
Okay.
And
So
we now have a double tie.
the vote is over.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a
And
tie.
I can't raise.
Yes.
You're in the
that's
position
right.
I was in last time.
Okay, right.
So there was a tie between I and nay. Mr. Moderator, what are we gonna do?
The nays have it.
The nays have it.
And who becomes the leader?
Me. I said I was going to do it. I'm a man of my word.
Okay.
Okay.
Good to know.
All right.
So
And
I
I'll
pay
take
in.
my power back.
So I.
Oh, you-
yeah.
sorry.
We. So
You
I'm
get
the only one who
that,
passed
yeah.
the power. I'm gonna get those.
And you guys
Throw
put
that
those
in.
in.
And I keep the leadership. And let's see what horrible decision I made.
Yeah.
The millers should have guarded their windmills better. Obviously. If we agreed to fund the reconstruction for them, can you look for sticker 169?
You got it.
If we agreed to fund the reconstruction for them, the crown would be flooded with more monetary requests. However, the local population will have to deal with the lack of flour. So welfare goes down to, sorry guys, you're already starving. No change. And we get a horrible sticker, 169.
Yeah, that's titled Charred Windmills, if you want to read this too.
I do. Charred windmills. The burning of the windmills inflicted a significant wound to the farming infrastructure of the Duchy of Antas. It will take some time to recover. Whoops! It's got my name on it.
Yeah.
Now, we have 6 dilemmas out. So what changes?
So, see how on this particular dilemma, there's that skull icon?
Oh.
If we get that icon, it ends the game. That's when the king dies.
Got it.
I guess by natural causes, although maybe those dilemmas sometimes imply why the death happened, I'm not sure.
Okay, charred windmills is on the board.
Also, the game will end, the king will die of old age if 5 more dilemmas happen. So if we pile up 5 here, the game ends. And as usual, it also ends if stability hits either end.
So as the leader, we have a new dilemma, and it's my problem.
Sure is.
Let's see.
Oidos, a merchant from the coast importing fish into the Mark of Tyrol, carelessly let a load of fish rot during transport. Taking advantage of the dire need for food in the cities of the region, he sold it anyway at an obscene price, causing a major epidemic of dysentery and jaundice. Oidos claimed it was an honest mistake. Do we punish him? I is we lose wealth and gain welfare. Nay is the opposite. We gain wealth and lose welfare, which is to say nothing, because we're maxed out.
Sure. And sorry, he did what exactly?
He imported a load of fish that he let rot and then charged a lot of money because everyone's starving because of our previous decisions.
And then he's saying it's an accident.
He's saying it's an accident. Do we punish him?
Didn't know the fish was bad.
You know, I'm the leader, so I'm voting first. I feel like this guy seems like he's on the up and up. I'm voting nay. We do not punish him.
Really?
Yes. One power on the nay.
You don't think he's on the up and up?
Look at his art. Oh wait, that's just a random person eating. No, that's him.
That's the same art.
The game does use the same art for like all the cards that came out of the same envelope.
Got it. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, then we can't even assume anything. Like it seems like a mistake. He was trying to feed people. People are starving, and he was like, maybe this fish is a little bad.
Smell bad fish.
Yeah, you don't accidentally
I
smell
don't
bad
know
fish.
that Oidos can smell bad fish. Maybe he doesn't have a nose. Maybe he has a horrible injury, and he can't smell rotting fish. Who are we to judge?
So you have staked a power on him having inadequate olfactory senses.
Yes.
And that should be.
I feel like we should give him the benefit of the doubt. Look, we need more people bringing in more food. What do we want to discourage merchants from bringing food into our cities?
I mean, it's causing sicknesses. Now we got to take care of people with dysentery and whatever else.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, the damage has been done.
Yeah,
people aren't getting dysentery.
But if we allow this, it's just gonna keep happening, probably.
So what's your vote gonna be?
I don't know. I think there need to be some kind of repercussions. All right, I think we have to punish him.
Go for it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but my people, we are a forgiving people.
Yeah, harmony. Does that sound harmonious to you?
I'm gonna vote to punish.
How many?
Punish him.
Just one?
Just one?
Wait, I'll do 2
That
to get
gives you
the
the
leader.
leadership.
Yeah, I'll take the leadership. Who's with me?
I'm with you in spirit, but am I with you in actually putting resources behind this?
Well.
Okay. No, I feel pretty strongly that he can smell. I want to be the one to punish him. I'm going to put 3 on I.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the leader.
Okay.
No, you're not. Because I'm going to put 4 on nay.
Wow.
Whoa.
So you take the leader since you have the most on a single card, and it is currently tied.
Oops.
Oh.
No, I'm going to put 5 on nay.
5 on nay.
So
I mean, you got a lot of power. You can't take it with you.
Can't take it with.
Okay, so we're at 6 for nay.
6 for nay versus 5 for I. The turn order has basically been reset, so we all get one more turn.
I'm gonna pop one more onto nay.
Just one?
So I'm sorry.
Oh wait! You're my opponent. Yeah, just.
So
In fact, I'll give you a coin not to.
So basically, what they're doing is if if you put 1, then between them they only need to put 2 to take the vote.
Right.
So you may want to put more.
Yeah.
But I'll give you a coin to put nothing.
Yeah, I don't care about coins.
Wow.
I'm actually I'm gonna put 5 power on it.
Nice.
So 4 more than what I just said. So I put 6 on me, 5 on him for 11.
And you are taking the leader.
No, I have 5, so he
has a total of 6.
Do you want to be the leader?
To beat you, someone else would have to take the leader. I would like to be the one who forgives.
Okay, great. So I'll put 4 on. So I'm taking 1 by. So he stays leader of.
Oh.
You put 5 on?
There are a total of 5.
Oh,
I
you
added
had 1.
4.
Yep, gotcha.
So the vote is 10 to 5.
What are we doing about this? He must pay.
Yeah, this is.
I like that this is our most dramatic dilemma yet, and it's just over.
It's just a single merchant.
Smelly
We
fish.
had
And
we had like an invasion from the north.
And now it's about punishing.
We have possibly zombies.
I mean, this
is the one.
has impacts on like the welfare of our nation. So like we're making an example out of him, right?
Yeah.
I really think he's gotta pay, but I'm gonna be honest with you. If you do nothing, I can't win this myself. I don't have enough power.
No, I hear you. I feel like we got to do something, or there's just gonna be chaos.
It's a problem. It's a problem that Christian is the moderator. If one of us was the moderator, we could tie so that leader doesn't get reset.
Right, right. The other thing is...
We got an alliance here.
I know. We are working... we have an
evil alliance.
We're forgiving.
I got a boat.
Kind.
Look how peaceful this is. You're the porcupine.
This poor fisherman is totally overworked.
You're pardoning...
He's straddled by taxes.
You're pardoning this clearly guilty man.
No, he's not clearly guilty. He's just overworked, tired.
What if your family had the bad fish?
You can get over bad fish.
That's true.
But the dude
that sounds like a very... 1% thing to say.
I'm just saying, an overworked fisherman is tired, paying too many taxes.
I'm gonna throw 4 more in.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So that's a
And
total
I'm at
of
6.
6
That
plus
takes the
3.
leader.
So you're at 9. You're at 9 for I, 10 for nay, but the leader has reset.
Okay. I don't think that the next dilemma could possibly be as important as this, right? I don't need any power held back.
They're probably not going to have any power left, huh?
Probably.
And
this kills the king.
this one has the thing, since it's going in
that's
here,
game over.
it's gonna end it. Okay.
This could be the last dilemma of the game. If the king ate one of these fish.
Poor Harold.
It's like poker, you said, right?
I'm going to add 2 power.
So the eyes now have 11.
11 versus 10.
Okay.
And Candace remains the leader.
If Candace remains the leader and you're the moderator, then I will add 1.
No, they're... The moderator's powerful.
Yeah.
Like that. Yes. I add nothing. So there's a tie on the vote.
Yep.
Moderator breaks ties. So that means the moderator says nay.
You could keep all that power if you say aye.
I'm aware of how the game works. I'm voting nay. Bang the gavel. So nays pay.
I become the leader.
You become the leader. A lot of power in the middle of the game.
All right, let's
Leader,
see what
read it.
happens.
All right, let's see what happens.
Jeez. There's so much power in the middle.
The market rightly punishes those who are not savvy enough. Let the buyer beware. However, when unscrupulous dealers learn there is no penalty, scams spread rapidly. -2 welfare and +1 wealth.
Neither of which has an impact.
Yep.
Neither of which has an impact.
Yeah, see, nothing happened.
And there's no...
The king's
no
still alive?
King's still
King's
alive.
still alive.
Leader, you get to draw a new dilemma.
This game is a little too real. The market will take care of it.
Yeah. Trickle down economics.
Yeah.
All right. Last night, a group of Ashers camping in an alley in Vandus assaulted some intolerant, superstitious people who were trying to force them out of their makeshift pallets. People are frightened by the rising tension and have suggested that we forbid people from circulating at night. Do we prevent further outbursts of violence? Do we institute a curfew?
Ooh.
So, an I vote will increase, what is this again? This is
influence.
Yes, an I vote will increase influence and add a negative sticker. A nay vote will decrease influence and decrease morale.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough one.
This is. I am the leader. I am going to pass for power.
You son
What
of a
happens
bitch.
if we all
I'm
pass?
immediately passing for power as well.
I actually don't know.
I'm passing for power as well.
So tiebreaker.
So, I mean, I can either look up what happens if we all pass, or
It's broken by
I could have my way for the cost of 1 power.
Yeah.
Which
It's also,
sounds pretty good.
I think if we all pass, it's the moderator breaks ties again. But
Oh,
it's
because
at 0.
the moderator. Oh man.
Oh, you
so
would just call it?
So another option. I pass for moderator.
Yeah. Which what you decide for free. So you don't even need to pay a power.
That seems like the way to go. Do
And
I
then
want
you're the moderator.
just do I want this my name on this decision?
This one I feel like is a little bit less. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my entire outlook on life is fuck the king.
Yeah.
Nay makes 2 already negative momentum resources go down. I think I think we don't institute a curfew. We just let people brawl about superstitions in the streets. So
you're taking.
I'm going to pass for the moderatorship.
Which is also, as we've discovered in the last 2 votes, very valuable.
Yes. So the vote is complete. Now I, as moderator, break the tie between 0 ayes and 0 nays. We're going to say nay. And actually, I choose who the leader is for this.
Oh yeah, you do, because it's a tiebreaker.
I don't have to have my name on this if I
That's
don't
true.
want to.
You can pin it on anyone.
I've seen a lot more negative effects on signing cards and stickers, I think, than positive. So,
So far.
I think you're the one who started this pass for power train.
I'll give you a coin
A coin.
to not be the leader.
I don't really need money.
It can
And
help.
definitely would need more money than
help.
that.
I mean, I think it's these two you gotta
What?
up.
What?
Would you guys spend money to not be the leader?
No. I would not spend money to not be the leader. Go ahead.
Candace?
Make me the leader. Just make it me.
All right, it's Christian.
Yeah,
He taunted me. This is going to kill the king.
Oh,
All right.
Jeez Louise.
So
First we split up the power, right?
Yes, thank you. So no power is spent, but this is divided 3 ways.
Thanks.
But your power is not going to mean that much because the
This
king's
game is
dying.
over. Yep.
Hey, it's a couple points.
So we decided on no
matter.
curfew.
No curfew, the nay.
Mhm.
If the Ashers were not harassed while sleeping in the first place, they would not have reacted the way they did. Very reasonable. Such a small incident can't justify drastic measures such as a curfew. People are still afraid of Ashers due to the outburst of violence, though. Some of the intolerants are even debating ways to take the matter into their own hands. Eep. So we lose -1 influence, which is, and then another one because of momentum.
Because of momentum. Mm-hmm.
-2 morale, which is actually -4 because of momentum. 3, 4.
Stability is going to go 1,
And then
2,
this will
3,
need
4.
a
Momentum thingy.
tip.
And
Yep.
we get a envelope. An envelope opens, and then the king dies, right?
Yeah, what number? We
50
resolve the envelope first?
53. Well, I hope I don't regret not bribing you.
Yeah, because if this has like a start of game effects.
Yeah, let's find out.
It's there.
Oh, it does, but it does not me personally. The start of
Oh.
game effect for this one is stability starts 2 lower.
Oh.
Please shuffle that into the dilemma
Okay.
deck.
All right, give us the story.
A wave of violence. Some fanatics, the self-proclaimed defenders, believe the council is siding with the allegedly malignant Ashers in Tyrol and have decided to take matters into their own hands. These dangerous vigilantes patrol the streets of Vandus with a declared intent of securing the city from Asher violence. Many Ashers are rudely beaten up, or worse. Ashers don't abstain from equally heinous acts of violence either. It is difficult to ascertain whether this is the cause of the defenders' actions or a reaction to them. While the debate rages, flocks of crows circle over the woods of Tyrol, feasting on the corpses of those hanged by the defenders. Horrible.
And let's remember that the Ashers are just people too poor to
Yeah.
afford decent
Yeah.
bread. So
More zombies!
this is real.
Well, the king dies either way.
The king dies. It has been a generation.
Yeah, we
And,
left the
boy-
kingdom
boy
objectively
has
worse
it.
than we found it.
Well, it depends on whose viewpoint you have. The wealthy have it very well.
So how do we do scoring?
So again, since in legacy games it's usually important to carefully follow the rules, I am going to just pull this out. All right, at the end of the game, first we calculate our scores. Most of our points come from our secret agenda, so we can just each reveal ours. I was the rebel. I wanted as many resources as possible to be in the top or bottom quarters of the track. I got 3 in that zone, so that is worth 17 agenda points to me.
Wow.
By the way, how much money does everyone have? Because I get some points if I'm in the top 3. I have 11 monies.
I have 11.
You laughed at my 11.
I have 21.
So there's actually a tie for last place. I have 11.
So we both get last place points.
Great.
So I get 1 point for that for a total of...
No. I have 13.
21
Oh,
to 13.
There's 3
So
right
you
there.
guys get...
We tied for our 3rd place points. So I this is making great video right now that I'm just gonna sit here and on King Harold V. Oh, right, we get to name the kings in the future.
I love it.
But not now.
The game might name them for us. We don't know. Who knows?
So House Prickle Snipe. I got 18 points for my secret agenda, or I got 17 for secret agenda and 1 for the money on my secret agenda. Ryan, what's your agenda?
So I was greedy, and I also wanted resources in the extremes, but I wanted minimum ones in the extremes. So I believe we have 3 in the extremes, which gives me 7 resource points.
Okay.
As the greediest of players, I get 8 points for coins.
That's a lot. And remind me the name of your house?
I am House Amarada.
So I'm House Badron. Obviously, I was the extremist. So I get at the end of the game, I get points equal to the distance in rows between highest and lowest, including extremes, which I think is just 17.
I think you would take 17 minus 1, right? Because the distance.
It says
is 16.
including extremes.
Oh, I see, including the extremes.
So I think it's literally
Just the whole
1, 2,
track?
3, 4, 5, 6,
okay.
17.
So 17. That's pretty good. It's
And
top
3rd place for coins for 1 coin.
So far, before we've compared power, you and I are tied at 18 points. With Amarada behind at 15.
And unfortunately,
Oh,
House
no.
Vespertine was moderate.
Oh, this did not end up very moderate.
No. So there are only 2 resources, so that gives me 7 points. And then 3 for my coins.
7, but 3 points for coins. Okay, so 10 so far. So let me just refer back to the rules we were following. So we just did our resource goal and our money ranking goal. Now, in future games, there will be open agendas, which are some points that are scored depending on the resources, but everyone knew what you were trying to do with those. But we don't have any now, so we just compare power tokens, and there are small bonuses for most and second most. I had a whopping 6.
I had 11.
I had 5.
Oh.
Power tokens?
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Ooh, tier 11?
Yes.
Okay, so that is 2 points for Candace, 1 point for Ryan. 2 points
Every little bit counts.
I should say for Vespertine, and 1 point for Amarada.
So we tied.
So, wow, so we did. So we tied. Prickle Snipe and Badron tied for
you're the moderator. No.
18. I don't think that matters.
No. Not.
Actually, ties just share rewards in the campaign. 16 for Amarada and 12 for Vespertine.
Okay.
So
It's pretty close.
Yeah. Right. It really was.
You guys were pushing that stuff. I was like, come on.
There were 3 players who wanted the extreme.
Yeah.
Right.
That was rough.
Yeah. Which makes it hard to be the moderate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also was the last one to choose my card, too.
So just out of curiosity, which one did you not choose? You had 2 options, right? It was moderate.
I
guess
don't
I could
even remember,
look.
yeah.
If that's okay. You don't
Yeah,
mind
I'm
me-
curious now.
Opulent, which was a bunch of the top.
Oh, yeah.
Which would not have been great for you.
Yeah.
Either way, wouldn't have
Exactly.
done great.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you might have made different votes, but
Yeah.
Maybe.
so maybe you would have done great. I don't know.
Almost all of our votes were pushing wealth and
Welfare.
influence, like in opposite directions.
yeah.
So it was really tough to do that.
Yeah.
So now, based on that performance, we get victory points. There are 2 flavors of victory points. They are called prestige points and crave points. The way the icons are inverted of each other, it feels like crave is negative, but they are both good things to get. And these rules are intentionally vague about, like, at the end of the campaign, how they will be weighted. So for the winner, which is both Christian and myself, we look at this table. Because the king died, the winners get 5 prestige points. Oof. So we're going to tick off 5 of those boxes. So the way this works, we were both first, and now second is Ryan, who gets 4 prestige points.
Okay. And I get nothing?
Well, so then after ties and number of players and everything, there is always a last.
Okay.
Is the way it works. So if you had tied for last, you would both be last.
Okay.
And you get 2 crave points which again are not necessarily bad. But we all racked up prestige, and you got a little taste of crave.
Okay.
Also, along the bottom of your card, you mark off which agenda you used. You get some bonuses if you focus on agendas.
So if we fill in all the boxes for one agenda, we get those points.
Yep.
That it says. Okay.
And then finally,
I see.
We haven't talked yet about, we have achievements. We have our houses' achievements. Everyone has a narrative achievement, which the game will tell us if we complete. And then we have 3 other achievements that we kind of progress on across several games. So I'll walk through mine, and let's all go through ours. I don't think I know what any of yours are. So my first one is for stability to be in the bottom half of the track at the end of the game. It is.
It absolutely
so,
is.
Yep, so I get 1 out of 4 progress on that. My next one was for influence to be the lowest resource at the end of the game, which I did not do. And then my third one was for wealth to be the lowest on the resource.
Yep.
So my house really wants to tank this kingdom.
Unreliable.
Ryan.
All right, so my first goal is to score 2 agenda points or more through open agendas at the end of the game, which I couldn't do.
Those will get added next game.
My second one is for stability to be in the top half of the stability track at the end of the game, which we also didn't do. But the last one is to have 18 or more coins at the end of the game, which I did.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
Progress.
Thematic. So for House Badron, my first was that morale should be the lowest on the resource track. Almost got it. Knowledge highest on the resource track. Absolutely not. And score 2 points through open agendas at the end of the game. Not even possible.
Right. Okay.
Mine was stability is in the middle area of the stability track at the end of the game, which it almost was. It was for a couple of rounds. I was staying there. And then morale is the highest resource on the resource track at the end of the game, or knowledge is the highest on the resource track at the end of the game.
Interesting.
Yeah, so these goals really set us against each other because I want stability to be at the top.
But both of us want knowledge up at the top.
Yeah.
Okay. Like there are a few, and both of us. Yeah.
But you want everything to be bad.
Yes.
He's a negative.
But you don't actually care if the stability is up, so we can like get
He's
it
a
all
rebel.
down there and then like up a little bit.
No, I want the stability to be on the bottom half.
Oh, damn.
That was the one that I did.
He hates
everything.
everything.
You hate everything.
Yeah.
You do hate everything. Why is that be so negative?
Weirdly, I have achievements for 2 different resources to be the lowest. So actually, I think if they were to tie, I would get progress on both. But for the most part, those are like, I can only...
That's pretty hard to pull off. And also, as we saw, we were very limited in which resources we could even touch this game.
We had, I don't know if it's just because we had... like the breadth of directions the decisions could, or like the dilemmas could take us, I think will increase. This was a pretty narrow set, and maybe it just focused on a couple, and that was
and also, I mean, there's a lot of dilemma cards that we didn't even see, so who knows what's in there.
They will be our dilemma deck next game.
Yeah.
We're going to keep up the story from here. What were first impressions?
I like this a lot. I like games about arguing. This is like very much right in my... I like games with a lot of above the table play, and if you can bribe each other mechanically, then I'm on board. So this is like very much in my wheelhouse. But I have to say it's an interesting take on a legacy game too, where I don't feel like... It seems less focused on tearing up and destroying stuff, although maybe that'll happen at some point, but instead building narratives and stories and what's going on that way. It seems like just... I can already imagine how this might have gone drastically differently if we played things differently.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, we can already see how like the Red Iron story is like on this path that if we had made that first dilemma differently, if we had turned it into weapons instead of hoarding it for the wealthy, maybe we wouldn't have gotten so many people killed and be in this like the start of this war with this mysterious faction.
It's pretty fascinating for each player to have to choose the story that they want to tell, right? Like, do we want to win, or do we want to tell the story that appeals to us? And
I believe so far almost all of us have been focusing on our winning. I feel like, although there have been times...
struggle.
That's not that surprising to me, because I feel like as we get deeper in the story, we will feel more invested in the kingdom and in...
Absolutely. And also, like, at the beginning, like, okay... We didn't even know what could happen if things went badly. Now we know stability is permanently lower for a while, which is actually like a pretty big mechanical change for us the next game. So now we actually have a mechanical, but we have a mechanical reason to maybe fight back at making things worse for our own benefit, because we don't want the game to end immediately by going destable. There's less points in that.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it. I've never played anything like this before, so I like it.
I don't know if there's been anything very much like this before.
It's very different.
It's pretty interesting.
But I'm also just not used to like more story-driven stuff like
Right.
this. Like I've never done D&D, and so it's interesting.
I just live for checking off achievement boxes.
Anytime you got a permanent marker in a checkbox.
Yeah. And it was also just interesting, seeing how everything unfolds, because I'm like, I don't know what we're doing yet. You know, even though we're kind of like new high level, we're voting on dilemmas, but it's getting interesting.
And it's so interesting the way the ultimate kind of goal of the campaign is not right? Like it makes it very clear that that both prestige and crave points are good, and that how good they are will vary depending on the story. So like
I could be winning right now with my 2 crave points.
Yeah, you're the only one with crave points.
And to be honest, with the way everything is going to shit, I could see crave points being the people who come out on top.
I will say, narratively speaking, we're not doing a great job as the King's Council. Like,
no.
We've started a war, and we've starved some people, and...
Wealth is at the top, so I don't see why it's
Very true. And I was thinking, like, okay, great. I'm, making money, making up for all the wrongs against my house over the years. But it is my achievement to bring wealth down. So I actually want to tank the kingdom's wealth.
You're a horrible house. Why are you allowed on the council? That's my question. Who put you in charge?
They owed me. I whined about it until they're like, fine, sit in this damn chair.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys very much for playing. I think we'll continue this soon, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, sweet.
We should see other people.
Let's just see how much worse off this can get.
I'm sure it'll go fine.
All right. Thank you for watching. Let us know what you thought of our leadership. Maybe keep that to yourselves. We'll be back soon. Until next time, be optimal.